See, I've been invited by the state party, directed by the central party, to participate in this current campaign which is going on all over the country to take Viksit Bharat Sankalpa Samavesha as though it is a movement itself. So India fought for its independence 1947. It was a big movement, freedom movement. For us to attain Arthika freedom, independence, Swabhiman, Swalamban, Atmanirbharta, all put together to get true Swarajya, we need to aim to work towards Viksit Bharat. So this Sankalpa Samavesha is more like Sankalpa towards a movement. We have to take this up, all of us will have to participate. So in talking about it, Tejasvi actually said in broad sweep as to what we have achieved and what we are doing and where are we today. But I'm going to make it a bit more content rich with some data to go with it, because media is also here. All of us should have such data in our hand before we even speak to the people. Yesterday I was in Udupi attending a Prasikshan Varga for the party. There too I emphasized on 3 pillars, which as BJP Karyakarta, all of us will have to constantly keep in our mind. Unless we do consciously take steps, we are not going to be able to defeat certain forces which are out there, determined to undermine Indian people's own contribution towards lifting India to a different level of development. Every time the Congress's leader of opposition speaks in the Lok Sabha, it is with a sense of decry everything, undermine the achievements of the people of India, thinking that he is undermining Prime Minister Modi or the central government. It is undermining the people of India, constantly saying, you know, everything is going to crumble. In the next few weeks, you will see it. There is a big disaster awaiting. There is no disaster awaiting India. On the contrary, quarter after quarter, year after year, not just we saying that we are the fastest growing, here is the number, GDP growth. You have IMF saying it once in April, May, which is the springtime assessment. And again in autumn, October time, they come up with the data to show why India is still the fastest growing economy next year too, and so on. Year after 2020. But still our leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha and his party will undermine India and make Indian people start doubting. Hey, leader of the opposition is saying this. Is it true? India is probably in difficulty. Even with the Middle East crisis, even with Strait of Hormuz causing a lot of disruption. Somewhere during my address, I will tell you the nature of risks and challenges. It is not just the cost of crude. It is not just the cost of LPG. It is also the problems that any country faces. You don't get ship. The liners are not available because they don't want to come with their costly ships and get it shot at. They don't have containers to come into that port of Hormuz. Insurance companies don't want to insure. So for an empty vessel to go, insurance has gone up because the ship will be fired at. When it comes filled with crude, again, crude and the ship, insurance premium goes up. And that insurance premium you have to pay just to make sure it can come to your country. And there are times when these shipping liners are in the high seas, somebody else pays them more and diverts. Despite all these challenges, Prime Minister Modi is ensuring that there shall not be a supply disruption. So that's the kind of attention to the economy. That's the kind of attention towards households. But none of this appears to the leader of the opposition. So I stand in the land of Basavanna, the great Vijayanagara Empire, and let's not miss out here Sri Vishveshwaraya, who built phenomenal infrastructure for not just India. He'd done it in Aden. The waterworks in Aden, Muscat, was also that time under the British by Sri Vishveshwaraya. So this is a land which has contributed towards India's backbone, whether it is defense, whether it is industry, whether it is infrastructure. So I stand here in all my humility to say, this Sankalpa Samavesha, we'll have to remember what we've done in the last 12 years. It was not just development, it was also welfare. And then we'll have to understand what has been achieved. I'll just highlight 3 as I go on. And then what is it that we aim to be? And therefore it is important for us all to be committed. Because as we said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Sabka Prayas. It cannot be without our prayers. So the 12-year story briefly was captured by the MP, but I'll just highlight a few because these are very important for India to stand up and say we have not missed out on the human elements as much as the infrastructure elements. 25 crore Indians have come out of multidimensional poverty. Tejasvi referred to that. Extreme poverty has declined from 29.17% in 13-14 to just 11.28. We'll further reduce it. But in the 10 years, that's the reduction in multidimensional poverty. 12 crore households have been given household toilets. Were built during rural sanitation campaigns. So that's a great universal coverage. Rural tap water connections. These are just for a moment. I'm not just reading statistics. You go to some of the districts in Bengaluru, you get tap water, you get Kaveri water, and there are sometimes disruption, but even after that, you still get it. Go to districts like Yadgir, some parts of Chitradurga, some parts of Vijayanagara, where I've been, all these areas I've been traveling, so I'm not just giving without my personal experience. The dryness and the lack of water makes it inhuman to live there. So it is important to understand what this rural tap water connection means to people in those areas. So water connections rose from 3.23 crore in 2019 to 15.85 crore today. So that includes Karnataka, that includes all other states as well. 10.5 crore free LPG connections under the Ujjwala scheme. 81 crore citizens are being given PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, that is free grain distribution. And then for the various schemes, we are now taking approach of saturation. So in a district, if there are 16 schemes, whether it is Mudra, Vishwakarma, PM Kisan Samman Nidhi, PM Awas Yojana, and so on. Those 16 schemes, we are now in a phase where we are saying there should not be one eligible person who have not received it. Saturation is what we are working. So literally everybody is getting covered. So with all this, I want to highlight three things which are actually in global standards and measure a revolution. I'm not saying that it is a revolution. Wherever you go globally, people ask, how did you manage? The speed and the scale with which it has been implemented is what is making it be called as revolution. The digital public infrastructure revolution, which Bengaluru plays a very, very important role. So Bengaluru innovates, ideates, gets the idea, and then it contributes to the shaping of the digital public infrastructure. So the JAM Trinity, Jandan, Aadhaar and mobile-based information data, 58 crore Jandan accounts have been achieved. So slightly over your total population has been covered. 144 crore Aadhaar identities have been given. 125 crore mobile connections have been received. And using all this, the UPI today processes 2,100 crore transactions per month every month. 2,100 crore. So 86% of person to merchant payments are below 500 rupees. It's not big ticket transactions, 500 rupee transactions, but cumulative, that's the total. The street vendor in Shivaji Nagar and the techie in Whitefield are using the same rail in which each does his own business. That's the quality of digital public infrastructure spread, which with responsibility, I'm saying, no other country has obtained in the world. People constantly say, how did you manage it? So that's a revolution. The second revolution I want to highlight here is the formalization revolution, where informal small trades and transactions have all come on board to be formal because GST has come in, GST has become simplified. So when in 2017 the GST was brought in for the first time, you had 66.5 lakh people only in the GST, meaning the state VAT all put together. When we had one GST coming in, only 66.5 lakh people were there. Today, it is at 1.64 crore. And that's the onboarding because of GST. Further, eShram portal has registered over 31 crore unorganized sector workers who want to get into the formal economy. Mudra loan has been sanctioned, 57 crore loans worth more than 40 lakh crores and 66% of them to women. So bank loans are now easily available, whether you use KCC, Mudra or PM Vishwakarma and so on. So banks are now available for everybody. It's not as if only a few people are benefiting from it. So if all this is at a national level, we here, particularly those of us in Bengaluru and media, will be right in wondering, take care, all this is your all country affair. What did Karnataka get? Because you also have a government here, which, if you allow me that little indulgence, which lives by saying, central government is not giving us anything. Constant grievance that you will hear is, "Arey, hamare paisa nahi aa rahe." And Bengaluru gives so much. So what are you giving us in return? That's the narrative which the current government in Karnataka has been doing. When I say current, I think I should say pre-current Chief Minister. What will happen post-current Chief Minister, I don't know. But the constant grievance was Karnataka is not getting its dues. I want to keep that fact in mind and put before you fundamental facts of how much Karnataka has received. The devolution of taxes, which is determined by the Finance Commission. Now I don't hear any talk about the Finance Commission is not given Karnataka, because this time it's given much more than what they anticipated. So that talk is no more there. Ekdam chup. So tax devolution, 4 lakh crores between 2014 and 26 has been given, 5 times more than that 82,000 which was given to them during pre-2014 5 years. 82,000 versus 4 lakh crore. That's what Karnataka has got. Grants and aid, 2.71 lakh crore during 2014 and 26. What was it earlier in those 10 years when UPA government was in power? 60,000 crores. Where is 60,000 crores for 10 years and where is 2.71 lakh crore for the next 10 years between 2014 and 16? So, facts be on the table. Then, Finance Commission did not recommend, did not say you should do it. But Prime Minister Modi, post-COVID, said unless states also grow fast, India's GDP cannot grow, so you need to give them something. We came up with a 50-year interest-free loan for every state. And even at the beginning, after 50 years, will that be treated as a loan or will it be treated as, okay, it's also a grant? How much did Karnataka receive under that? More than 18,000 crore has been given from 2021 till today. In a matter of 5 years, 18,000 crores. And these are, as I said, not recommended by Finance Commission. There was no compulsion on our shoulder that we have to give this to the state, but we gave it because PM felt every state should have money to invest in capital assets. And that's why that is important. And also Karnataka's budgeted devolution for the current year, 1st April 26 to 31st March 27, just that devolution, money from tax collection which comes to Karnataka, 63,000 crore in the current financial year. A single year's transfer equal to 76% of what the state received in 10 full years under the previous dispensation. I hope you get me. 10 years of what they got under the UPA in Delhi, we are now giving 76% more than what that 10-year gave them in 1 year, 26-27. So, cooperative federalism is what Prime Minister Modi has believed and is continuing to do it. In fact, I'd like to refer to the recent Niti Aayog Governing Council meeting, where all chief ministers from all states had come. In fact, PM refers to it as Team India. All chief ministers had participated. In that too, Prime Minister's address was clearly that center-state cooperative federalism will be the spirit, and we expect the states also to make sure they contribute to India's Viksit Bharat mission. All of us contribute to it. Okay? Money under tax, money under what Finance Commission is asked to give. I'll say a few words on Karnataka's economic geography as to how it is being improved. MP Tejasvi Surya spoke about, metro. Earlier it was only this much kilometers, now this much kilometers. I'll just go point by point so that all of us, a discerning audience before me, gets the facts in hand. 8,100 kilometer of national highway has been constructed in Karnataka. With over 2,000 kilometers of corridors approved under the Bharatmala Phase 1 at a cost of 63,000 crores. It's come to Karnataka. The Bengaluru-Chennai Expressway, the Bengaluru Ring Road, and the Sholapur-Kurnool-Chennai corridor are all reshaping the logistics map of this state. You're going to have hectic activity with these corridors all in place. Okay, if this is about the road, what about the railways? Railways allocation in the budget, because there's no separate railway budget now, there's no separate otherwise budget, all of them are in one. The budget for budgetary allocation for railways has grown 9 times compared to the UPA time, compared to Modi ji's time. From an annual average, on an average annually, under the 2009-14, the UPA period, Karnataka railway budget annually on an average got 835 crores. Now, do you want to see what the annual average is? I'll take the example of 26-27 that year, the current year. 835 annual average crores. 7,700 crores annual average now under Prime Minister Modi, and that's the figure for this year also. So, since 2014, 1,650 kilometers of new railway tracks have been laid in Karnataka. How much? 1,650 kilometers new tracks. 3,200 kilometers of railway tracks in Karnataka are electrified. Diesel, no diesel, the trains will run aram se without disruption. Totally Karnataka's rail network, 96.5% have been electrified already. So you're not having any one patch which is saying, oh no, we have not got electrified. No, 96.5 is done. And how many Vande Bharat trains have come to Karnataka? 10 railway Vande Bharat have been introduced in Karnataka. If I know, I have had a recent discussion with the rail minister, more or on the cards. Okay, that's about road was over, rail is over. Now I'm coming to the airports. Bengaluru's Terminal 2 is a class of its own. People are just looking and admiring. Is that not a contribution made to Karnataka? It stands out. Globally, people talk about this airport Terminal 2 as the standard to achieve. Other than that, 7 Udan airports have become operational in Karnataka. Greenfield airports have been approved for Vijayapura and Hassan, opening both North Karnataka and Malnad region to the skies. Chennai-Bengaluru Industrial Corridor with a node in Tumkuru, which is the first node in a corridor, industrial corridor, anywhere in South India. So you don't even need to compare. The first thing, if it happens in the south, it's happening here, and Tumkuru is the first such thing. What's the spread of the area? 8,500 acres. The state has cooperated, understood the importance of this, and given that kind of an extent of land. In phase A of a development of Tumkuru node, 7,000 crore is getting invested. So immediately, that's the kind of money which is coming to Tumkur for the development of that node. You also have heard about the PM Mitra Mega Textile Park in Gulbarga, Kalburgi. IIT Dharwad has been dedicated to the nation already. And this is a surprise even to me, but I would have thought Rajasthan, I would have thought Gujarat, I would have thought somewhere in Tamil Nadu. You see solar parks, renewable energy attempt of the country so that we really multiply our capacities. Karnataka is soon to become a powerhouse of India's green transition. And how? 4.5 gigawatts of renewable power is going to come from Koppal and Gaddak. Koppal and Gadak alone will contribute 4.5 gigawatts of renewable energy. The government approved interstate transmission system. It's a scheme to evacuate 4.5 gigawatts of renewable power from these two regions. And the cost here is 1,354 crore. It will be completed by June 2027. So Karnataka will be a powerhouse from then in renewable energy. Then of course, therefore, all of us can imagine whether it is textile park in the north, from Hubli's platforms to Hassan's runway airport. This is development with a pan-Karnataka footprint. We are not confining ourselves to any one pocket within Karnataka. Now, I at the beginning said development, revolution, digital, all that. Did we forget the common citizen? No, we have not. I'd like to highlight how 2 crore Jan Dhan accounts were opened in Karnataka, 3.5 lakh crores in Mudra loans just in Karnataka. Mudra loans largely also concentrated in MSME pockets, whether it's Peenya or Sirsi. 1.9 crore Ayushman cards, 5 lakh rupees is health cover, 4 crore beneficiaries on free food grains, Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, 43 lakh or more farmers receiving Kisan credit card, and also 31.7 lakh Kisan credit cards are issued already over and above this. Jal Jeevan Mission, 87 lakh rural households of Karnataka have piped water now. 41 lakh Ujjwala LPG connections. 1.67 crore enrollments in PM Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana insurance cover. And in that, 2.60 crore enrollments under PM Suraksha Bima Yojana, 49 lakh enrollments in Atal Pension Yojana, 6 lakh street vendors have been supported by PM Swanidhi loans. This morning, PC Mohan, also an MP from Bengaluru, took me to some of the street vendors who want to get the benefit of Swanidhi. Have taken applications from them as well. We will cover all of them. 1,610 Jan Aushadhi Kendras. I remember briefly, these Kendras were shut because I don't know if the ruling party here in Karnataka had a doubt if these medicines are being sent to big industries. Their families are benefiting out of PM Aushadhi Kendra. The Jan Aushadhi Kendra deals with common, poor, middle class citizen, where the medicine cost has come down by 60%. And the current government here, even for a while, shut these PM Jan Aushadhi Kendra. They stand up and ask, you're serving only for those big industrialists, I'm not naming, they constantly name two people. PM Jan Aushadhi Kendra, are they dealing with these two people? These are medicines being given for common citizens. And the government in Karnataka shut these PM Jan Aushadhi Kendra, to my shock. I don't know after which how common sense prevailed. They've opened it up yesterday as I was. Oh, on High Court order, they've opened it up. Can you believe the pettiness? And when they shut these sort of things, what moral authority are they got to stand up and shout, you're working only for top business leaders, your friends? Ujjwala, Mudra, Swachhata, toilet, Jal Jeevan Mission, this Aushadhi Kendra, are these for big industrialists or small? They are feeling insecure that Modi's measures are touching the hearts of common people, the middle class. And foolishly, they shut it and commit harakiri. It goes against them. But that's how Congress works. So anyway, so that's one thing. And finally, there was a study done on PM Jan Aushadhi Kendra. Nearly 40,000 crore of medicine cost has been saved for families altogether in the country who use Jan Aushadhi Kendra. That's the impact it has on families. Now, another voice which keeps coming, are we taking care of the middle class? I would like to highlight a few middle class empowering stories. Just on taxation, in 2014, 2.5 lakh is up to what income tax exemption was given. If you earned up to 2.5 lakh, you didn't have to pay any tax. But today, earn up to 12.75 lakh, you don't have to pay an income tax. This kind of a rapid change in the income exemption limit has never happened in the history of India. It has happened because of Prime Minister Modi. Income Tax Act was simplified so that compliance can become cheaper and less stressful. GST rationalization has caused consumption boost in this country, and the simplification of complying with the GST for those companies and MSMEs. On health, out-of-pocket expenditure has fallen from 62% to 39% only now. In India's medical colleges have been more than doubled. AIIMS has nearly tripled. 47 crore telemedicine consultations are happening. And they reach village homes. Maternal mortality has fallen from 130 per lakh live births to 88 per lakh live births. Malaria deaths have come down nearly by 80%. So those are very important indicators of how we are not just doing digital revolution, not building infrastructure alone, but taking care of the welfare of people. 23 lakh direct jobs have been created because of 2.23 lakh recognized startups. I'm standing in Bengaluru, startup hub of the world. And I'm telling you this. Home loan interests have also come down, 9.5 to and 10.5 was the number a decade ago. Today it has come down to 7.35 and in some cases to 8.75. So all this to showcase that in the 12 years, we have just not done only infrastructure or digital revolution, we have taken care of common people's need, middle classes' need. So what is the Sankalpa we have to take today? I come to the end of my address. The Sankalpa we need is to make sure we have only 21 years to a 2047. 2047, when you say it, sounds far off. We have only 21 years. We need to have better innovation. India's innovation capital is here, and Karnataka has hosted aerospace revolution, defense corridor, and biotech leadership. So I think our resolve cannot be just to leave it to the government alone. We have to commit so that Sabka Prayas, Sabka Vishwas takes India to that 2047 which all of us want. I wouldn't want to highlight any further. Demographic dividend, development dividend are all with us. Karnataka is rich in intellectual capability. You are effective in mobilizing human resource. One district, one product has revolutionized our districts. So we need to begin a movement. Navu Wandagi Viksit Bharat Kattona. Let us together build Viksit Bharat. See, I've been invited by the state party, directed by the central party, to participate in this current campaign which is going on all